if your journey is working. Trying to live a day without you are. I forgot the beat. Yes, baby, I'm recording, so hush, 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 hush. Gotta give me in a rush. Anyway, welcome. I'm back. I'm back. So welcome me back to another episode of Lemar's vlog. I was gonna do this episode next year when I lose weight and I look different, but I've got stuff to talk about, so we're gonna talk. So today's episode in Lemar's vlogs. Ooh, my hair needs doing. It needs doing so badly. Sorry. Yes, baby. Don't mind her. So today's episode of Lemar's vlog, we're talking about how the doctors failed me and they didn't care. So here's the story time in Lemar's vlogs. I know I always do story times in Lemar's vlogs, but one day my life will be exciting and I'll show you around. Like when we went to the birthday party. Check that episode out, Jordan Lee's birthday party. Anyway, so what happened is, as you may know, I'll briefly go into it. Some people say the doctors failed them, the NHS failed them, when you call them and it's just COVID and they book an appointment and they take too long. Yeah, but I'm not talking about that doctors. I'm talking about my mental health doctors. Since, I've spoken about it since maybe 2018, 17. I had a mental breakdown, which I still think it was not a breakdown. It was wrongly done. Like basically, my grandma basically sectioned me, say that I'm hearing voices and they never listened to my side of the story. They said I want to be like Jesus, and I said, of course I want to be like Jesus. The Bible says we should want to be like Jesus. And they said, you're not Jesus. My dad, who wasn't talking to me at that time, just screamed that he's dead. If you know, you know. He wasn't talking to me at that time, and he was happy to see me off in the madhouse because he was angry and vengeance. So I believe, And now I'm on medication, and when I'm off the medication, I get side effects like hallucination, and and I act manic and do things that are not normal or right. Anyway, so that's the long story short. So I've been on it for a long time. And one time the doctors found me when back in 2019, I believe, I took an overdose because I was in love with someone and they didn't want me, so I felt bad, and then I took an overdose. And then my doctor was supposed to contact me, and stop picking my nose on camera. It's so unattractive. God, it's itching me. And he never cared to even message me. And then I ended up, contacted me about me taking an overdose, and I ended up relapsing, going to hospital, and then apologizing to him for me not wanting to have anything to do with him when he's the one who didn't contact me first. Anyway, so we're going to speed up to this time when I had an appointment with this silly doctor for my medical review to reduce my medication and then take me off it so I can lose weight. And, can we just say that I always wanted to be big? always wanted a round face because I thought round face, baby face, cute face, yeah. Chubby cheeks, yeah. And a big body, big body, breasts. Because I'm, you know, I bat that way. Anyway, and long hair and stuff. And yeah, so I've always wanted to be big because my inspiration, Raven Simone, Ginny and Michelle Lombard, they all was big or are big. I don't know what they look like now. At that time, everyone in America was big, and it just seemed like the trend. You know, it suited them. They look good. Me being big is a sore subject for me because people say, oh, you let yourself go. People unfriend me. People who I've known from school don't want to know me because I put on weight. They've unfriended me. Like I look scary to them because they're not used to me being so big. And no one wants to date me. No one's attracted to me. I feel insecure when I go to places like church and other places because I'm the biggest one there and parties. I feel unconfident. And I feel like even if I was looking alright, but slimmer, I'll be more confident because, or maybe not, because I don't feel comfortable in my attractiveness, but I'll be more confident because I'll be slimmer. And especially in the LGBT world, people like slim. They want masculine men, slim men, fine slim body, masculine muscles. So it's hard, and no one understands this. And I'm desperate to lose weight. I'm gonna dye my hair black again. I'm not really liking this blonde patches. You either brown or blonde, and it's like it's not all blonde. It's blonde patches. Yeah, I'm gonna dye it black again or red. Anyway, that's my next look. For my birthday, I might dye my hair black. Yeah, I've had blonde's been fun for a bit, but yeah. Anyway, so people want masculine, slim, sexy. You know, that's just how it is. No one said to me, someone on apps, dating apps and stuff like that, Grindr and all of that. I don't use Grindr anymore, but when I used to use it, was just like, you're fat, blah, 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 you know. Or someone in my church said to me that I should date fat people because I'm big, and I said, I'm not, just because I'm big doesn't mean that I should date fat people. You know, I'm allowed to date a slim person. But that person, she's fat herself, so it is what it is. And her partner's not that big, I don't think. He's normal size. Anyway, so the doctors found me when, because obviously I'm desperate to lose weight, because I want to see what I look like losing weight. I believe I look really attractive, especially my nose job, that I did. And I just feel like I'll be more attractive. And anyway, that's not the story. We're getting off topic. So, yeah, so my doctor, I was on 800 milligrams of sodium valproate, and that is for, I didn't know, but it was actually for your temper and bipolar and epilepsy and stuff like that. I didn't know. So when I was going through my crisis and everyone was watching my temper, getting kicked out of school, fighting family and friends and enemies and all of this, and bullies and all of this violence and the ghetto that I was living in, and the crisis and the dominating bullies and dominating uncles and cousins and dads and all of that, and just defending myself. Everyone was watching me like I was some scary monster because I would lash out back when they was bullying me. And because they're adults, they get away with it, or they're older than me, or, they're sneakier, they get away with it, or they got more friends than me to defend them. They get away with it. So I didn't know. I mean, there was a time I was too young to clock on that, section, if you've got a temper, they'll section you. I was in Care one time and they was going to section me. And I did, thank God they didn't. But, they probably would have back then had they spoke about it because of my temper. But not because of hallucination or hearing voices or anything. Anyway, because we're getting off the topic. So, I didn't know what it was for. If I had known, I would have stopped taking it. I would have tried my hardest to control my temper a long time ago. Or, try to find a way to control my temper. I'm praying that now when I'm off it, my temper's not wild and crazy and unstable because, what's it called again? I need medication to control my temper because of that's the only way I pray. That's not the way I pray. I can control it, and I don't have a temper problem, and I'm not dangerous because of the side effects. But I think I'll be okay. Anyway, yeah. So I was on the high dose, and for about every month they was reducing it to 1 second. Yeah, they was reducing it 100, take the doctor 100 until they wean me off. And then I was on, from 800, I went down to 400, 500, and 400. And then I got a new doctor, which they keep changing doctors. And then this new doctor keeps postponing. I think I should put the title of, no. I just say doctor. I just say. Should I put the title of the name of the doctors in the title that they found me, or should I just say doctor? No, this is my complaint. So, and they're not doing nothing, and they haven't got back to my mum, and they need to. So I will. So yeah, so this new doctor keeps postponing me. She was meant to meet me on February the 2nd, or not February, sorry, September the 2nd. She's postponed it to the 18th. And then she had a phone call with me, and then she didn't book an appointment. Made me wait a month for the next appointment, which is supposed to be every month. I'm supposed to have a new, sorry. Oh, I'm so itchy everywhere. And I do wash. Anyway, and it's not time to scratch myself on camera. But every month I'm supposed to be reduced, and she didn't take me serious or weren't following me, and she weren't, what's it called again? She weren't taking me serious. She weren't, it's not taking me serious. It's the word, she weren't really caring, showing any like, putting me as priority or any interest in my thing. And this is how I know, because so she told the people in Jane Atkinson to book me at ECG before my appointment with her. And this was on a Monday. And we had booked an appointment in November, the 18th, I believe it was, and my mum took time off work and wasn't getting paid because she took time off work, and she came down from where she was located, which was an hour away, and so she don't live with me. She lives an hour away from me. Anyway, and I'm not gonna reveal her address because this is the internet. Don't want stalkers or anything. But yeah, so I went to the ECG, and they said to go before my appointment because the doctor wanted to see it for the appointment, my ECG and my test, and my ECG. And then next minute now, the next day when we had the appointment, my mum came, we went to the appointment, we were waiting. She didn't turn up. Not my mum, the doctor. She didn't turn up. And it's like, you didn't even warn us or call or nothing. You let us come and you didn't turn up. Why she didn't turn up? She's on strike. What have you done to be on strike for? Well, you're not even a good doctor for starters. This is my opinion. And I'm entitled to my opinion. And I'm not going to post it with a name on it because I don't want them to think I am angry or despite me, I'm not reduce my medication because they don't like my thoughts on them. Just like when I had a problem with my church and I was doing things on social media and I was gonna do a vlog on them and talk about how they treated me, which I will do next video. By the way, but it's too late now, no one cares, but just to talk about it. And yeah, they didn't like it, and they was like, take it down, and they said how angry I am and my reviews, and they kicked me out, and oh god. So I don't want her to spite me and be like, oh, I'm not gonna take him off his medication because he's angry, and he did an angry post online, and and then so I'm not gonna tag her or write the name of the doctors or anything. I know I said it, but I'm not gonna write it in the title. Anyway, I just in the thumbnail or the title, I'll just say the doctors failed me. Okay, so back to the story. So she was on strike. It's like, so why are you on strike for? And why didn't you warn me and tell me? You made me waste my time is not valuable. You made me waste my time coming down and you're on strike. When we go on ECG, you didn't tell me when I was at the doctors. The same doctors that was ECG was the same place where we went for the meeting, and that she could have warned me and said Jane Atkinson, and she could have said she's on strike or she's not going to be there. She didn't let me know. Up to now, days later, weeks later, she hasn't called or contacted or apologized to say, sorry, let's rebook the appointment, or I'm sorry that I was on strike, or I couldn't make the meeting, or whatever. Just uncaring. And that's where we're at right now. And yeah, that's the ending of this video, because it hasn't resolved. But we wrote a complaint, and we called them a complaint. And yeah, so like, share, subscribe, and comment if you've got doctors that you any stories about doctors that let you down or didn't help you or failed you. Right in the comments, I'd love to see it. And yeah, bye for now. Peace. I'm gonna go to the toilet, then I'm gonna do the next story, the next episode, which is about my church and how they kicked me out. Well, I've been threatened to be kicked out of a church before, and actually got kicked out of a church. So yeah, but we'll talk about that. Bye.